What is going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video, where today we're going to be taking a look at an Espeon Garbodor deck, a deck that has gained a lot of popularity recently and has kind of become the more favored version of the Garbodor decks. We've seen less and less people playing the Drampa version and a lot more people playing this Espeon version. I did play it myself this past weekend at the Origin special event. Unfortunately, being a best-of-one tournament, I had a little bit of bad luck. Both of my first two rounds, I just had those hands where I ended up not really drawing anything and just lost in a few turns because of it, which can definitely happen. You know, this is a game of Pokemon. It definitely does happen from time to time, but not going to complain about it, not going to be upset about it. We're going to move on. We're going to go ahead and take a look. This is the list I used this past weekend, and I like this list a lot. I did base it off of Xander Pero's recent top 4 Mexico City Regionals list, so huge props to Xander on his finish there. And yeah, this deck is super solid. Let's go ahead and hop into this and take a look at Espeon-GX, the 200 HP Stage 1 Psychic type Pokemon with all 3 really good attacks. We've got Psybeam here, 30 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused, and of course we are playing the Eevee with Energy Evolution. Whenever we attach a basic energy card to it, we get to search our deck for a Pokemon that evolves from Eevee that is the same type as that energy card. So if we attach a Psychic to Eevee, we get to go get a turn 1 Espeon-GX and get a turn 1 Psybeam off, which is really good. Confusion is very annoying for a lot of decks to deal with, and if we can get our opponent to swing into Confusion and hurt themselves potentially, that'll make our numbers a lot easier later on down the road. We also have Psychic here, 60 damage, plus this attack does 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. And with Choice Band now, we can very easily ramp up and do a lot of damage with Psychic, taking one-hit knockouts depending on how many energy our opponent has attached to them. And then we also have Divide GX here. Put 10 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. Very good against those lower HP decks, things like Vespiquen. We can take out 2 Pokemon there, potentially with like a Combi or a Zorua, or a Combi and a Unknown, something like that. And then also just, you know, there's a lot of decks that rely on evolutions nowadays. We can just take out a benched Trubbish. If our opponent only has 1 Trubbish on the bench, we want to get rid of that thing. If they only have 1, you know, pre-evolution down, we can get rid of it potentially with a Divide GX, so definitely a very useful attack there. We're running a 4-3 line of Espeon-GX, along with 1 Flareon here with the Flare effect ability. Each of your Stage 1 Pokemon in play is now a Fire-type Pokemon in addition to its existing types, meaning that we can hit for weakness on things such as Lurantis GX, such as Metagross GX, which are 2 fairly popular Pokemon still. Flareon can definitely do some good work for us. We can also use Flareon's Flare effect to give us fire typing to one-hit KO Combis with Psybeam potentially. Also Vespiquens without any energy on them with a Psychic, something like that could definitely be useful potentially. So there we go, there's the one half of the attackers there, and the other half, of course, is going to be Garbodor here from Guardians Rising, the bane of this format. People love this card, people hate this card. He is definitely very strong, no denying that for sure. 20 damage times the amount of item cards in your opponent's discard pile. Trashalanche is a very strong attack, and Garbodor is undoubtedly going to be one of the most popular decks heading into the US International Championships coming up here in just a couple weeks. So this is definitely a deck you should be watching out for and preparing for. So very strong 4-3-1 line of that Garbodor, of course, with the Garbotoxin Garbodor included. Just Garbotoxin is still such a good ability. We need to run it for things like Volcanion to manage their steam ups. Just good late game to prevent our opponent from getting out things like late game Tapu Lele is also good against the Bulu Vikavolt deck. They rely heavily on their energies through getting the Vikavolt set up, and then also against Greninja. There's just a ton of stuff Garbotoxin is still very good against. We also have 2 copies of Tapu Lele ourselves, letting us search our deck for a supporter card, putting it in our hand and using it that way. And then also 1 copy of Oricorio with that Supernatural Dance attack. Going to be used mainly to counter those Vespiquen decks. This deck should have a pretty solid matchup against Vespiquen here through the use of both Divide GX and Supernatural Dance from Oricorio. I think that's a matchup that you should feel pretty comfortable with. So let's go ahead and expand it here, take a look at the rest of what we have to work with. 2 copies of Field Blower, letting us manage our opponent's tools in play. If they ever put tools down, we get to use Field Blower, and that will allow us to gain basically plus 40 damage for Trashalanche throughout the rest of the game. Also, I have 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher. This is going to be good for a couple reasons, letting us keep our Flareon in play if they are to knock it out, or if we have to discard it early. Getting back Oricorio against Vespiquen can be very good. Getting back Garbotoxin Garbodor after they've knocked it out. Rescue Stretcher just has a lot of good utility use in this deck. 4 copies of Ultra Ball here, giving us the utmost consistency, letting us search out any of our Pokemon. 3 copies of VS Seeker, allowing us to reuse any of our supporter cards. 1 copy of Brigette, if we can just go Lele for Brigette turn 1. Get down some Eevees as well as some Trubbishes, we should be pretty good to go from there. 2 copies of Hex Maniac. There's a lot of stuff really reliant on abilities. Hex Maniac is very good turn 1 against things like the Mirror Match, also good, you know, Mega Rayquaza is a deck that's been popping back up. Hex Maniac is good against that. All those things. 2 copies of Lysandre, letting us bring up something that our opponent has on the bench and potentially taking a knockout on it. 3 copies of In, just giving us a little bit of shuffle draw, as well as 3 copies of Professor Sycamore, letting us discard our hand and draw 7 cards. We also have 1 copy of Teammates here. I actually really do like this card in this deck. The Mirror Match is something that is going to be very popular, something you're going to have to expect to play against. And just being able to stream Garbodors with Teammates or get back out Espeons, going out searching out energies, getting Choice Bands at the right time. Teammates can definitely help you keep those things pretty streamlined. We've also got 3 copies of Choice Band, just boosting the damage we do with things like Trashalanche as well as Psychic, even Energy Drive, even potentially a Revelation Dance early on in the game. You never know. Also, 4 copies of Float Stone, which may seem a little weird. You know, we don't, like, that's a lot of, you know, switch cards to have, but the Mirror Match is going to be something that's pretty popular, so retreating out of Confusion can be huge. And also, we just really want to guarantee ourselves that turn 1 Energy Evolution into Psybeam. So, having 4 Float Stones means if we don't start an Eevee, we have the multiple, like, the maximum, I should say, outs to retreating to get that turn 1 Psybeam off. 4 double colorless energies just powers up all of our attackers, even letting us use Acid Spray with a Garbodor, potentially. And also 8 Psychic Energies to round things off. There is the list, the deck I played this past weekend. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I did just have a little bit of bad luck in those 2 earlier rounds, like I said. But when the deck functioned like it was supposed to, it ended up working out pretty well. So we're going to go ahead, hop in here, see if we can't find a game, see if we can't get a win in today's video. Once again, huge congratulations to Xander on his top 4 Mexico City finish. He also did finish top 16, I believe, at Origins. With the same deck, so Espeon-Garb is definitely a deck you should expect to play against. So, a Fairy Psychic Colorless Fighting deck here. Makes me think it could be some sort of Mega Gardevoir deck. That's my first instinct, is that it's going to be Mega Gardevoir, so we will choose to go first, and honestly, this seems like something that could be kind of a harder matchup, not gonna lie. They do for just 2 energies hit for weakness on our Espeons, can one-shot us even if they don't discard any Pokemon, and oh, they see an Oricorio start, so probably going to be, it most likely is going to be that Gardevoir deck, so we'll go ahead here, start off with an Energy Evolution, go search out an Espeon. We do have all 3 of them. We have Garbotox and Garb in our hand, that's something to note. I think we might Ultra Ball here for Lele. And I think Hex here is actually pretty solid. I think Hex is pretty solid here, but that kind of leaves us with a dead hand, but we can Ultra Ball on the following turn. So we're definitely going to get this. So I kind of want to Ultra Ball away Espeon. And Garbodor's really good here. I don't want to get rid of it if we don't have to. So I think I'm just going to get rid of Espeon via Seeker. He's letting me know I have a good deck. No, sir. You have a good deck. Alright, we'll go ahead here. Grab Tapu Lele. And I think just getting the turn 1 Hex here will be pretty solid. Could potentially mess him up. We do have Ultra Ball for the next turn to go search out another Lele to get another supporter. So we'll go ahead and grab Hex. Let me make sure... Yeah, we do have the other Lele. Let's make sure we have Rescue Stretcher. We do. All 4 DCEs. Prized a Psychic. Prized a VS Seeker, it looks like. Okay, cool. So we'll just grab Hex Maniac. You have to excuse me, guys. We'll go ahead and play Hex Maniac and pass on to my opponent's turn. See what they can do. This can definitely force them to maybe Ultra Ball for something else they didn't want. And we see by the sad face that... they definitely did not enjoy that Hex Maniac. We're going to give them the heart, though. And let's see how they have to play this turn now. This deck does really rely on things like Hoopa, Shaman, and Tapu Lele. Taking away those options with Hex Maniac can just potentially really mess my opponent up here. Just a pass. So all we need to find is a double colorless energy here. So we'll go Teammates, because this is weak to Psychic, right? Yeah, so all we need is a double Colorless Energy. We will be able to take the knockout. We'll get rid of Teammates and Field Blower. Keep the Garbodor around. Tapu Lele. Well, we're just going to Sycamore here, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So we'll go grab Tapu Lele, and we're digging for that double Colorless Energy, see if we can get the win here on the second turn. Go ahead and Wonder Tag for a Sycamore. And let's see, we did get the double Colorless Energy, meaning we will get the turn to win with a Psychic. We could have Divide GX'd as well. So not a great game there, but, you know, we did get a W. So we'll go ahead, grab another game, see if we can maybe have a bit more of a competitive game there. Ooh, and we might get a pack by the end of today's video as well. We'll have to see if we get that. And yeah, we'll see. I think that is definitely a matchup that can be pretty tough for us. So maybe we got a little lucky there getting the turn 2 KO. But, you know, we take those. They do happen from time to time, and yeah, we will take it. So Baby Crosser here looks like a Greninja deck more than likely. So that Garbotoxin Garbodor is going to be pretty big. We do win the flip, thankfully. So we will choose to go first. They have no Pokemon, so we'll go ahead and grab Eevee. Ooh, Enhanced Hammer, Team Flare Grunt, Rough Seas. Those are things I don't really want to see, but looks like we're seeing them. Rough Seas, that's an interesting choice of stadium here. He does get, 3 Pokemon down. I wonder if he's playing to the Talonflame. No, he's not playing the Talonflame version. We know that. And this could actually not be. Yeah. Oh. Alright. Okay, so how do we want to play this? We see the Slowpokes, meaning he does play Slow King. I think we're definitely going to go ahead and just search out a Espeon. Get this guy up. I don't think we're going to Lele for Brigette or really anything at this time. I think we're just going to click done. I really don't know how to play this. I think later on in the game, Trashalanche could potentially do a lot of damage. But it looks like my opponent's just going to get a Float Stone down. We see a Skyla come out. Let's see what he goes for with this. He's going to get an N, so he must not have a great hand. Maybe we could Lele for Lysandre. Go ahead and try to deal with the Slowpokes. We could just N ourselves, though. Try to get a... you know, sadly we don't do that much damage with Psychic. $40, $70, no. I don't really want to put Lele down, I don't think. I don't think Espeon is going to be a great attacker for us here, honestly. I think I'm going to N. I think this is okay. Yeah, I'm really unsure about this matchup, guys. We'll see how it goes for us, though. We do get a DCE at least, so we can do some damage. We could Divide and take a knockout on one of the Slowpokes, which I don't, like, hate it. Dealing with those guys could be a little annoying, so I think I will just go ahead and do that. Divide, take a knockout on one of these guys. And then next turn we have Ultra Ball for Lele for Lysandre to bring up the other one and knock it out with a Psychic. But that's also, of course, assuming we get to keep our energies. Yeah, these guys definitely won't be that fun to deal with, but, you know, it is what it is. Probably should have just put one there and then put the other ones on Wailord, but that's okay. Yeah, I should have just put one. Or, well, this means if he gets the Slow King, we can still knock it out. Oh, wait, no, we actually wouldn't because it has 100 HP, I think. Yeah, so Dive Ball's going to come out, probably grab a Slow King. Yeah, and it does have 100 HP, so maybe should have just put the damage on the Wailord, actually. And there comes Rough Sea, so it ends up not mattering either way. Team Flare Grunt, let's see which one he chooses to get rid of. He could have an Enhanced Hammer in his hand as well, but he does get rid of the DCE and passes on to our turn. We could just go Lele Lysandre. I don't know that I want to put Lele down, though. Lele can swing decently hard itself, though. 2 items so far. I mean, the damage is just going to get healed off if we Lysandre, so I guess there's no reason to do that, really. So we'll just end here, I think. Yeah, click yes. Did not get an energy. Well, we got a psychic, but I think we want to save putting down Garbs if we can. We'll just Psybeam. He is, of course, just going to be able to heal it off, but he is confused. I doubt he's going to be attacking with his Wailord, but you never know, I suppose. So via Seeker here. So we had one really quick game, and one game that will almost undoubtedly be extremely long. Team Flare Grunt going to get rid of an energy. But hopefully we can just get to a point where later on in the game, Garbodors can easily come in and one-shot Wailords. So we'll just go ahead and end. He's not putting any offensive pressure on, of course, so I don't mind just kind of taking this slower route. We'll go ahead and just Psybeam. Hit him for 60, so at least we get some damage to stick. He has used 2 items. Float Stone, let's see where this goes. Onto the Wailord. So now we can get some more damage off with a Field Blower, which is good, very good. There comes another slow poke. Don't like seeing those guys, of course. Team Flare Grunt comes out. That's number 2, I believe. Yeah. So we'll just Psychic for 90. Hopefully get him to play a lot of those item cards. There's an Enhanced Hammer coming out. Retreat and pass. We can take this turn to Brigette down a Trubbish. He needs a lot of items in the discard pile for us to do any real damage, though. So let's go ahead. We'll Brigette down just 1 Trubbish, I think. We could attach Choice Band, but I think we'll just Psybeam, hit for 60. Does confuse him, which doesn't really do anything. We do thankfully attack for 1 energy on everything, but we don't play Super Rod, so definitely something to remember. We are already down 4 of our energies. Here comes Royal Flash. Does get to move the energy back to Trubbish, but that's fine because we will want to attack with Garbodor at some point either way. We can go ahead and do this. Choice Band this guy as well. And we can go for an N. And we do get a Psychic Energy, so we can hit him for 60 damage again. We can also Field Blower, double Field Blower. I think if we do that, that is best. Get rid of this, and honestly, maybe the Rough Seas. Yeah, I think we'll get rid of those 2. And Psybeam. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we hit for... oh man, here comes the Royal Flash again. Oh, such an annoying ability! I think we may want to try to knock out these Slow Kings, honestly. If we can get them to get 1 more item in the discard, which we can of course do with just a Field Blower. Here comes the handiwork. We do unfortunately have no supporters in our hand. Does get 1 heads at least. And we get an Eevee, so nothing there. We'll just have to pass. Pass from him. We get a Sycamore. I think we should go ahead and play it. Do we want to get rid of Choice Band ever? I don't think so. Sycamore. Honestly, maybe Float Stones are better, though, on Espeons, so that's... I don't know. We get a Psybeam for 60 once again. Yeah, honestly, Float Stones are probably... I probably should have Field Blowered my own Choice Band. But he flips his third heads in a row on Royal Flash, which is really fun. So we have... 3 Psychic Energies left for this game. Let's see what Skyla gets. Probably the Rough Seas. Oh, a Max Potion. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense. I think we might lose this one. It's not looking hot. I think I should have Field Blowered this. Or maybe I put down Trubbish way too early in this game. Which could be the case. We might try to set up the Garbotoxin one, though. If we can get our Rescue Stretcher to keep him from Royal Flashing. I'm going to try to salvage this one if I can. We'll just end. I could just be patient and try to sit here and wait for it, but I think I'm going to try to just like get things set up. So we'll click Done. Field Blower gets rid of the Float Stone, probably. He probably plays 4 Field Blower. Ooh, he gets rid of the Float Stone on our Espeon, or the Choice Band on our Espeon for us, though. Which I think I'm pretty okay with that. We Float Stone. Alright, how much do we hit for with the Trash Lynch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 140. That's a clean 2-hit KO. I'm not sure why he got rid of the Espeon for us. I could Lysandre a Slow King and KO it. So we hit for 140, 170. Not enough to knock that guy out, unfortunately. I think I just Hex Trashalanche. Yeah, him getting rid of that Choice Band is kind of suspect, honestly. I think if he leaves that Espeon up there, we're going to have a hard time. He does get a Float Stone, but we do have a Lysandre in our hand. Team Flare Grunt, that's okay. On to our turn. DCE will hold it. So we're just going to Lysandre this guy. Take the knockout. Adds another item to the discard as well. So we're hitting for 190 now. If he plays 2 more items this turn, we can knock out this Wailord, but I doubt he will do that for us. One Royal Flash fails. The other one succeeds. He's probably going to put it on the Trubbish. Yep. On to our turn. Rescue Stretcher. Not going to get anything for us right now. We could go Rescue Stretcher, Lele, Lysandre, Slow King to get back on even prizes. But I think we'll save that for next turn, maybe. So we can Lysandre and just KO this, so then we just have to KO one more thing. Honestly, I think we might be okay. I think we would have been in a bad spot if he had... let's see, if he Skull Grunts this turn, we'll be in a bad spot. We'll see what he does. Gonna put another energy on the Trubbish. The strongest Trubbish in the world. Max Potion, okay. That's fine. Adds more items. On to our turn. So we hit for... Alright, so we'll do this. We'll Hex, so we can't Royal Flash this energy. We will Trashalanche for 210, right? Yep, 210. So it does go down next turn to even a Choice Banded Acid Spray from the Trubbish. See what he gets with Dive Ball. Probably another Whale. Ooh, maybe he doesn't have another one. Did he prize his last one? We'll see. Let's see if he gets a Float Stone here or a Max Potion. We did get an energy. And just a pass. We do have Rescue Stretcher for Lele for the next turn, so we'll just go Trash-a-Lanche here. And I think we might be okay in this one, guys. I thought we were going to lose that one. I think I didn't play it perfectly. But it looks like we might still just be able to come away with a win here. Let's see what he's got. Team Flare Grunt, okay. Pass on our turn. Thankfully, we do have a Psychic Energy, so we just get to go Trash-a-Lanche for the game. Honestly, a little quicker than I thought it was going to be. Well, there we go. There's a game against Wailord, and not a deck I was expecting to play against today, but we played against it. So we will go ahead and grab one more game. We had one really fast one kind of, I guess, unconventional matchup, something you don't expect to necessarily play against. And I don't think I played that correctly necessarily. I think I made some mistakes earlier on, being the first time I played against the deck. But that's why you test, that's why you like practice these games, so that if you do play against the Wailord deck or something like that in a tournament, you kind of know what strategy you need to have going into the matchup. So we'll go ahead and grab another game. See if we can't get another win here. We got Murphy XD 23. Looks like a Greninja deck maybe with Talonflame. But since they... You know, we said last time that we thought we were going to base a Greninja deck, and it was definitely not Greninja. We'll have to see here. And we will be going second this time, so we can get a turn 1 Energy Evolution and attack off, potentially. So we'll click done. And he did start Talonflame, so it looks like it is a Greninja deck. Rough Seas comes out, okay, and a Sycamore. I guess he just chose to start with that hand since he knew he was going to be able to Sycamore away some Talonflames, which makes sense. But Confusion here could be really nice for us. Confusing the Talonflame, meaning he has to flip into Aero Blitz, could be good. So he does get a Dive Ball, though, for Froakie, so we can get that guy down. And... anything else? Maybe? Just a pass. Potentially thinking about something. Choice Band. Gonna go down onto the Talonflame, okay. Only played one item so far. And a pass. Okay, on to our turn. We do get an Ultra Ball, so we can go Ultra Ball, get rid of Choice Band and Flareon. Two pretty useless cards in this matchup. We do have our other Espeon. That was something I was going to be worried about if we had a Psychic Energy. We do have two Espeons in our hand. If we prized one, we wouldn't be able to get into... if we had prized one, we wouldn't have been able to get into a turn 1 Espeon. And how many Psychic Energies do we have? We just prized one. That's good. It prized a double Colorless, it looks like, as well. We've got 2 Hexes, which is nice. 2 Field Blowers. All good things. Prized a Trubbish and a Garbodor. So we'll go ahead and just grab a Trubbish here. Oh no, maybe that was our 4th Trubbish. Never mind. So we'll do this. And we'll go ahead and play the... should we put a Float Stone down? Force him to play Field Blower earlier than he wants to, maybe. I think that's okay. We do want to hit a Psychic Energy here if we can. We do hit one. Very nice. We get another Eevee we can put down. He's given us the heart. He must not have had a great hand. We'll put down the other Eevee. Go ahead and Energy Evolve into Espeon-GX. Honestly, maybe the second Eevee is something we don't even really need in this matchup, but we'll go ahead and use Psybeam here. If he gets a Water Energy Froakie or Frogadier, of course he can just retreat and use Water Duplicates. But if not, he may be forced to try to attack with Aero Blitz, but looks like he may have gotten it. Yep, we do see the Water Energy. Let's see if he does come up and use... if he does decide to come up and use Water Duplicates, or if he tries to flip with an Aero Blitz. That would be kind of risky, though, because then if I get a DCE, all I have to do is divide KO the Frogadier, so I definitely expect fully this to come up in Water Duplicates here. 100% expect that, but we'll see. We will see. Because if I do get a DCE and I can divide GX KO the Frogadier, he's going to be put really far behind. He does retreat, smart enough by him. And Water Duplicates here. Let's see what he finds. Gets down 2 Frogadiers. Okay. So we get another Espeon. We don't really need Garbodor yet. We can Field Blower away Choice Band Rough Seas. Hit him for 20. We can Ultra Ball away... yeah, we'll Ultra Ball away Float Stone Choice Band. Get down another Trubbish. I think we will go ahead and just put Garbodor in play. Field Blower and Sycamore. I think this seems pretty good to me. Field Blower this and this. If we can get a DCE, we can KO the Frogadier, of course. So that would be good, since he doesn't have a Splash Energy as well. Looks like we unfortunately did not get that, though. So let's see, he's at just 2 items, right? Yep, 1, 2. So we can attach a Psychic here, so next turn we just need a Psychic. And we'll just Psybeam. Confuse him, he can't evolve out of it, of course. But next turn we can Divide GX kill a Greninja if this becomes a Greninja and he misses the Rough Seas. But we'll just have to see what he goes with. We do unfortunately kind of have a dead hand due to the Garbodor. We have a Lele, of course, but Garbodor is going to kind of mess with that. But Field Blower is going to get rid of the Float Stone, which is fine with me, honestly. We do have 2 Float Stones left. That's one of his Field Blowers down. And I assume he only plays 2. He could play 3, though. A Super Odd, get back a Greninja and a Break. And does he have to put back a Talonflame? He does have to put back a Talonflame. So he must be playing a Sycamore this turn. Olympia, that is a really interesting card choice. Not something I was expecting to see. And an Aeroblitz. So I'm really interested as to why he chose to play the Super Odd that turn. But he's going to go Aeroblitz. We'll see if we can top deck an N. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. We can Lele for it. We do get a Lysandre, though. So I think we will Ultra Ball, get rid of... I think Oricorio is still good for sure. Let's Ultra Ball. We'll get rid of Brigette. Not going to be useful at this point. And I guess just a Lysandre. Get one in the discard for via Seeker later. We do have N in the discard pile. So we'll just grab with this a Trubbish, and we'll go Lele for N. Ooh, I didn't check Float Stones, but we can check that here with Lele. So we're definitely going to get an N. We do have 2 Float Stones left, so we'll go ahead and do this. If we get a Psychic Energy and we can divide KO the Frogadier with a Splash Energy, that could be good. We do get a Psychic. So, do we KO this and put, let's see, for Psychic we hit 60, 90. So let's divide. Yep. KO the Frogadier with a Splash on it. And then we'll put 1 damage counter on the active so that we can KO it next turn with a Psychic. Right? 60, 90, yep. So next turn we KO this with a Psychic. And we'll just put the other 2 on the Frogadier with Energy. This one doesn't really matter as much, but you know, putting that can put it in range of a Trashalanche potentially later on. So we will take a prize. We get a via Seeker, not a bad prize to take ever, of course. And on my opponent's turn, let's see what they're going to go with. Dive Ball here, meaning they can get a Greninja into play. We do not do a lot of damage, of course, to Greninja with Espeon. He's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Yep. He's going to actually evolve this one that doesn't have an energy, so maybe he has another energy or another Greninja. So we hit for 100 with a Trashalanche. Not quite enough. If he plays enough items to where we can KO Greninja with Trashalanche, though, he's going to Ace Trainer. Okay. If he plays enough items to where we can KO Greninja with a Trashalanche, we'll probably retreat and try to do that and just take that thing out of play if we can. But we'll see what we can do. We do get via Seeker for Lysandre, though, so we can Lysandre take out Frogadier and try to keep him from getting multiple Greninjas in the play, which I think is going to be the best decision for us. Ultra Ball here is going to get rid of Super Rod and the Ultra Ball, so that's 2 more items. And he's going to go get another Greninja. So we actually will be able to knock out this Greninja with a Trashalanche this turn, which is pretty good. If we could get a Float Stone, that would make it like the perfect turn, I think. He is going to do 110, meaning he can knock us out next turn with a Giant Water Shuriken. DCE, not a great draw there. So he's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 140. So we can indeed knock this out. So we'll go for that, and we're just going to go in. And we're going to definitely be looking for a Float Stone here. That would just be the icing on the cake. Although, either way, our position is pretty nice, and we do find the Float Stone sure enough. So we will go Float Stone Garb. We'll retreat the Espeon. And Trashalanche here does 140 damage. Also puts another item in the discard pile since he attacked us with the one with the Choice Band. Meaning that if he plays just one more item, we will be able to knock out Greninja Breaks with a Garbodor's Trashalanche, and I'm really liking the position we have right now in this game. He does theoretically have 1 Field Blower left, but if he does use it, that gives us enough items to use Trashalanche to knock out Breaks, and like I said, we do have the 1 Float Stone left, so we can potentially still find that. So Talonflame does come up. He can use Arrow Blitz to try to set his hand up, but we do have an N to follow it up, and we'll be knocking out the Talonflame. Let's see what he's got. I think he should have promoted, he should have promoted Greninja, because he can always retreat into Talonflame anyway, and that way if he he may have top-decked the Break or something like that. I don't know what his hand is, but theoretically if he doesn't have Break, he should send up the Greninja, so that way if he top decks the Break, he can Giant Water Shuriken, and then... Oh, wait, no. If he had, like, Break plus Field Blower or something like that. But, like, you never know what you're going to top deck. So, like, the 60 damage, you know, you get a free KO on the Espeon, things like that. And with the 20 damage already on this, we actually do knock it out straight up with a Trashalanche. So if we can get a Lysandre on the top deck... nope, he's going to N us. If we can Lysandre KO this... Greninja this turn, that'll put us in a pretty commanding lead. We don't have it yet. There's the Field Blower, so he can use his abilities. See, another reason there, like if you're going to try to get the Field Blower. See, but now he just sends up the Greninja. Let's see if he KOs the Garbodor. See, he's going to KO this, and now we're just going to get to KO his only Greninja Break because he has no way to knock out Garbodor. And let's see if he even benches a Froakie here. He does bench a Froakie at least. But he may not have any more Float Stone, or Field Blowers, I should say. He does get this Splash Energy, which we will have to, you know, swing into that, of course. Which means he will get his Greninja line back. But he's going to be pretty far behind here, guys. And we could actually Lysandre take out the Froakie. Which seems weird. I think this will... hang on. How many Pokemon are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. If we Lysandre take out the Froakie, it prevents him from, like, next turn... Like, if we just knock this out, he could just have Water Energy plus a Frogadier plus a Super Rod or a Rescue Stretcher and get all his Frogadiers back. But if we Lysandre KO it, he can't do that. So I kind of like doing this. Yeah, I think we just Lysandre. We won't get our Float Stone this turn. But I don't think it really matters. We'll go ahead and evolve to Garbodor. Put a DCE on the Espeon. Lysandre Froakie. Excuse me, guys. Had a throat thing for a couple days. And we'll go ahead and Trashalanche take the KO. Get a Garbodor off the prize is not great. The only thing about this is we do kind of have a dead hand now. But we do have, you know... We've got 2 Sycamores left, an N, and 2 via Seekers. So lots of drawouts still. He will, of course, get to KO Garbodor here. I don't know, maybe we should have just KO'd the break, since then he has no way to really... I mean, he could Aero Blitz knock out Garbodor the next turn, so that's something to consider. I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about that play right now. Giant Water Shuriken, let's see where he puts it. Gonna go ahead and chase down the Espeon on the bench. And he'll probably knock us out with Shadow Stitching. I feel like he should knock us out with an Aero Blitz, though. We'll see what he does. Via Seeker. And probably just going to go for an Ace Trainer. He's going to go for an Olympia. Healing that damage. Not sure how much that's going to matter since he is now in, like, you know, Trashalanche does KO pretty much everything. Maybe would have liked to see him use Ace Trainer there. Why would he do that? He just wasted a VS Seeker for no reason. I'm really not sure about that play. We will just send up Espeon, though. Uh-oh. So let's go ahead and Rescue Stretcher, get down another Trubbish. Get back a Trubbish. 1, 2, yeah. I think I made the wrong call, guys. 60, 80, so he would have to get a Choice Band to Shadow Stitch and KO us, or he has to Moonlight Slash return the energy. But never mind, he has the Choice Band, so he can, if he has the Water Energy, he can Giant Water Shuriken now. Yeah, oh my gosh, I think I just made a, like, really bad mistake by not just KOing the Greninja Break. My thought process was I don't want to just let him... I think our hand, if our hand had, like, another draw supporter or something in it, then I think that play would have been fine. But unfortunately, we didn't have it. So we'll just have to send up Garbodor, hope to top deck a Psychic. We do still have 4 left, or 3 left. I think we prized 1. He does take a knockout. Send him a Garb. Let's see if we top deck a VS Seeker. Teammates. That's pretty good. Okay, so we'll go Teammates. Get a Psychic for sure. And a VS Seeker, I guess. To end next turn. Put him to 1 card. We'll just Trashalanche. He has no way to KO, take his last prize next turn. There's a Psychic Energy. Our last one out of the prizes. That's pretty nice. He does get everything back. He will send up Talonflame. Let's see if he has like a Super Rod to Water Duplicates this turn. But at this point, it's going to be a little while before he can really do much. And next turn we'll just Lysandre this if he doesn't bench like another Froakie or something. Or if he doesn't Water Duplicates this turn. But he does bench another Froakie, so I think we just take out the Talonflame. And N. Put him to 1. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to do. Yeah, Dive Ball. Let's see what he gets. Or can we win if we get our last Float Stone? No, there's not going to be enough Pokemon. Yeah. So I think our mistake is going to end up not... I don't know, I don't want to speak too soon, but I think we're going to end up being okay here. He is going to Aero Blitz. Gets to search for any 2 cards. We will just N and attach energy and N, take a knockout. And then all we have to do is take 1 more knockout. If the N finds him Water Energy Greninja, he wins the game. So if we get a Float Stone, we'll do that route. Should we go Oricorio? Should we bench this? I think we do just in, like, to thin 1 more card out. And we're going to N. This is going to be a close one. So if we can get Float Stone, we'll retreat KO with this Garbodor. We don't get that, though. So if he gets Greninja Water Energy, he wins the game. If he doesn't, we should win the game. So this is going to be a really close one. It just depends on what he got off this end. We get a Trubbish there. This is going to be it. What's he get off the end? There's the Frogadier. Let's see it. There's the Water Energy. Please no. Please no. Please no. Via Seeker. I think he just won. That's really frustrating. But, you know, it is what it is. He, I guess, had a decent amount of outs to it still, so... Great last game there. I think I did end up making kind of a mistake. Unfortunately, I should have pressured a little more there and knocked out the Greninja Break instead of the bringing out the Froakie. I think Lysandre the Froakie would have been fine if we had like a follow-up supporter, but then we proceeded to dead draw for like a couple turns. So, not really sure how I feel about it, guys. That is going to do it, though. Let me know what you think of the Espeon Garbodor deck. Do you like the list? Let me know what you think. Have you played the deck at all? What are your thoughts? That is going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means everything to me. Definitely leave a like down below if you enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't, and that's going to do it for me. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Until next time, take care.